Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to another epic loot stream. We're gonna do, like we have been, another chore stream. We've got babies to weigh. We've got grown-ups to do another weigh check-in. It's been some time. We've got some girls who have recently laid eggs and some girls who are still developing follicles that might need an ultrasound. So we're gonna do all of that today at least, and maybe more. We'll see what's up. So
I hear you. I was just checking to make sure that we're actually live.
yeah, we're doing a new mic system and we're making sure we're live. So, uh, all right. So we're just gonna go through and start weighing babies right away.
Although, for whatever reason, the video looks like crap.
The video looks like crap, huh? Real exciting content here as I check the quality. I think it looks, well, yeah, it's definitely not great.
It's improving. It's improving. We'll just leave it for now.
Okay.
It's probably. I changed all the settings in here, and we got it up to really good performance last time. I'm just gonna check the stream information. Yeah, 25,000 should be okay. Okay, Kyle says video seems good.
Okay.
So I am, by the way, back here behind the camera and behind the computer. I'm going to be the secretary taking notes. Arden's going to get to show off every one of the snakes, and that way I'll be able to see. When you come in close with that, it should autofocus on it. So that's just a regular banana. Looks pretty good, and the color's kind of accurate.
Yeah, it got some nice purples on, like purplish browns in between the alien heads. Looks great.
So let me get my animal list up, and you can tell me the numbers of them as I. So that's number 48.
Yep. All right, and she is 115 grams.
All right, so we're going to post a weight at 115 grams.
Very much ready for a home. We just got our morph market approved. We're working on getting some postings, the listing set up soon. So a lot of these babies will be ready to go.
This is 49.
Yep.
So that's a banana black pastel.
Yeah. Very cool colors, nice neon oranges, starting to develop some cool black spots and freckles like bananas do. This one looks a little bit smaller, even though it's ate the same amount. Yep, 101 grams.
Okay. That's still a pretty good amount of weight.
Yeah, oh, definitely more than enough. That I would consider that snake thoroughly started.
All right. Next should be number 50. That's also a banana black pastel.
Yes. Not anything new to see here. I think she's slightly larger. Got those nice freckles again. I think actually the orange is a little bit richer on this one, but
well,
it's just polymorphism.
You can hold them up side by side if you want to. But I like comparing them to the regular banana.
Yeah. Well, I can't hold 3 snakes at once on camera, so.
Of course you can, but then you just confuse which one's which.
Yeah, I think this one has slightly deeper oranges than this one. And based on the pattern, I don't think there's any reason for that other than just polymorphism, natural variance between animals and groups. So,
cool.
Yep.
All right, so I'm ready for the weight for.
Nope, get back down there.
For number 50.
All right, number 50 is at 110 grams.
110. Submitted. Next should be 51, which is the Super Banana Mahogany.
Yep. Oh, and she's flipped over her water bowl again.
Good.
She's an expert at that. She is gorgeous. I love the Super Banana, the like light pink color and the whitish yellow alien heads. Very cool. She is only 83 grams, which is really wild since they eat the same amount, but they've been offered the same amount of meals and none of the bananas
Are you sure they didn't get reset or bumped?
Pretty confident, yeah.
Okay.
83 grams, yep.
Yep, there we go. All right.
All right. Well,
We'll just say the others are doing much better.
I'm going to put a little mark on anyone who's going to need water after all this, because I'm sure she won't be the only one who's flipped over a water bowl or something.
Yeah, we're going to review everybody's water once we're done here. This should be 53,
All right.
which should be a pastel gravel.
Yeah, she's got some nice flaming on that side. I think looks really good. Obviously, those pastel alien heads kind of get a little wonky. The blushing on the head. Gorgeous animal. Although it's very simple in traits. 80 grams.
80 grams. I got a couple questions in chat I'll get to here in just a second. Let's see.
Hello. You look hungry. Don't snap at me.
Kyle said, are these the babies you've hatched? Yes, in fact, all of these babies are babies we hatched. And we just got 2 surprise clutches of eggs yesterday. Actually, day before yesterday, but we got them in and done yesterday. So this is number 53, which is...
Oh, no, this is 55. We just had 53.
Oh, that's right. I didn't skip forward. 55, which is a super pastel inchy gravel.
Yeah, you can definitely see the super pastel. Very bright blushing on the head. The enchies kind of got that banding more accentuated, and of course the gravel, the distance between the alien heads and those big flames. I think this animal is really, really pretty. It's a shame those traits are not considered as valuable, but I think they are some of my favorites.
It's all right. You can get relatively inexpensive snakes that way. Logical Argument says, are they on mice? Most of these are on rat pups. What was the weight?
88.
88.
This one is got launching poop everywhere. We're gonna have to maybe give this one a new tub.
I brought new tubs up just for that and just in case.
Good. I'm gonna do a little box icon for needs new tub.
Number 56 should be exactly the same, a super pastel inchy gravel.
Yep, this one's just got a little bit of stuck shed on its tail, so and it looks like it's eaten a little bit better. Yep, same thing. You got those nice big flames and all that banding and the bright blushing on the head, making it almost white.
All right. 56 super pastel inchy gravel weighs
90.
90 it is. Now, yeah, these should all weigh a little bit less than the bananas because the bananas have been eating for almost 2 weeks longer than these have.
Right. They'll, gradually go down as we go down the list because they're all younger.
Number 57 is a super pastel gravel lemonback. And so it doesn't have the inchy, so you'll see more alien heads and keyholes.
Super bright coloration. Love the blushing on the head. Almost white colors up here on the top.
This looks almost like vanilla, because lemonback is part of the black-eyed Lucy complex, along with vanilla and fire and flame and disco and I think Creed and a couple others. But lemonback, by the way, is also known as Lucifer. And the only reason I've listed it as lemonback instead of Lucifer, I would prefer to list him as Lucifer, is they came to us, the parent came to us as a lemonback, and I just want to keep that going.
75.
75. All right, that is number 57. So the next one
This is
58. This is the super pastel, super gravel, inchy lemonback.
This one is a powerhouse breeder. You've got 2 supers in there, which means you have not just no guaranteed normals, but no guaranteed single gene snakes. You are guaranteed to have a 2-gene snake if this one is part of the mix.
And you're set up for highways. Actually, you're set up for pastel highways. And
yeah,
all
great highway project snake.
Yeah, that's our current top dog valued snake.
All right, and this snake is 86 grams.
86 grams. I got a couple other questions I'm going to get to here in a second.
Yeah, you can take them if you want.
Boom, boom, boom. Next should be 61.
Yes.
Okay. Number 54 skipped. Did they die? No, we sold 54. We've sold quite a few. If there's a number that skipped, it's because we sold it.
There's a lot of numbers that we're going to skip.
This is a Mojave Calico, and you can actually see a lot of the cool white pixelation going off the side, right where your finger is actually on that on the
Yeah,
inside.
you can see like right there too. It's kind of like really crawling up the side.
On the side closest to you now, right directly behind your hand. No, on the side. Okay, turn it back around. On the side closest to you, by your left hand,
Okay.
there's a
Yeah,
white blotch.
right there.
On your side, not this side.
Oh yeah, okay, there
There
we
you
go. Now
go.
I see it. Well, you told me to flip it back around, so I'm like
So that
totally
it would be on the
disoriented.
side. But I wanted you to see it, so you'd know how to flip it.
There we go.
This is a Mojave Calico that is also 66% het pied, which doesn't mean it's 66% het. It means there's a 66% chance that it is het pied.
This one's 82 grams.
82 grams. Add that in there. Click submit. That was gorgeous. Is the room evolving? Seems like more things than previous streams. Well, yeah, I mean, we've got more, and there's actually a whole nother rack arriving, but it'll be in another room. We're morphing Arden's office into more. This is exactly like the last one, except it also adds
Leopard, right?
leopard. This is a Mojave Calico leopard. It looks like it's in shed.
I think it had a little bit of a, or maybe just starting. It's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, it just looks a little lighter in color, but Mojave Calico leopard, 66% het pied.
It's got a really cool stripe on its eye, which happens sometimes. 99 grams.
I was going to say that one just looks heavier than the last one.
Yeah, some of them are just that we have some normals down that are some of the newest snakes in the collection, and they are some of the heaviest babies. Well, this one's had a really rough shed.
Ooh, all right. Well, we'll get a mister and mist that up. This should be 63.
So it's unfortunate you're not going to be able to really see because there's so much stuck shed. So
This
we
is
got to really work
Mojave
with this
Calico
girl.
pied, and it's definitely calico.
So it's so much easier to see when it's not got stuck shed on it. But you can kind of see those white flakes coming up the side on this saddle here. That's a good indicator that this is not just a Mojave pied, but in fact a Mojave Calico pied. And very low white is something you would expect from a Mojave pied. So, or very high white, rather. Got that backwards.
Yeah, we need to get some mist in with that one. I'd just mark it for water, too.
This one's 95.
95 grams. Sweet. That's one of my favorites that we hatched out because we went back and forth on is it calico, is it calico? And we were pretty confident it was calico. And then now when you look at it, it's obviously calico.
Yeah, especially when it's not in shed. I mean, I think it just finished, so.
This should be number 66. Should be GHI Blackhead.
Yeah, you can definitely, I think Blackhead is probably pretty self-explanatory. It's a very dark snake, particularly on the head. It's got really thin eye stripes. That's also typical of Blackhead. And GHI is what's accounting for these really cool, stretched out, sort of like teardrop-shaped alien heads.
All right.
Very cool combo.
I'm going to try and keep up on chat.
Yep, 80 grams.
80 grams. Logicile Argument says, got any paradox? We didn't get any paradox this year so far. We have 2 more clutches in the incubator, but they're not going to hatch until January 4th or 3rd, actually, probably. How come you don't promote this channel using your other platforms? I think it can be interesting to all. We do, and we will. We're just now getting started. We've done 1 show. Our morph market's not completely set up. We want to be in a... I'm still actually waiting for some supplies to show up to be able to ship snakes. So once we're done with that, we'll promote this channel.
This baby is not looking so hot. This one has refused to eat. We really are probably going to have to force feed, unfortunately. You can kind of see it's starting to get a really sharp, defined point on the back of its spine. That's a sign of an animal that is just not eating. We've tried every meal option you really can for a snake. We've tried mice, we've tried rats, we've tried, well, I don't know, I guess what else we've tried. We've tried different sizes too, because sometimes that's a thing.
We've got an order of Reptilinks coming in, and we're going to assist feed
40
this
grams.
one. What was the weight? What was the weight?
40 grams.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so this one we're going to mark that that one needs assist feeding.
It's just an unfortunate consequence of nature. Sometimes some snakes just don't eat. I mean, it's the reason that snakes, when they reproduce, don't reproduce one baby at a time like humans do. They reproduce 6 to 12 at a time. That way, if an animal does something like that and refuses to eat and unfortunately passes away due to that, the genes are still carried on. But
This should be 68, which is Blackhead GHI Fire.
yep, Blackhead GHI Fire. So
Okay.
just a little bit lighter in color than the last Blackhead GHI. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a lighter color, especially on the dorsal stripe.
LA Silver Surfer says, great, now I want a python to go along with my tarantulas. Awesome. Lelia says, how do you start your journey with snakes? I've always loved and kept snakes. We started breeding a year ago after buying a couple snakes, and we both had a passion for it. So we just started digging in, and we've done really well we've done exceptionally well for first year breeders. It's just, wait, that was 68. What was the weight?
Well, I've forgotten since. $84.
A4. All right.
This one is a combo that I really love.
This should be number 75.
Yes. It's kind of got scrubbed off a little. I'll have to write it again, but that is...
This should be Pastel, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly.
Yeah. So Yellow Belly and Pastel combined, you get that kind of crazy blushing everywhere, especially when you add Orange Dream to the mix, and then you're getting a lot of those orange, sort of almost rusty red undertones. Beautiful, beautiful animal. Anything with Orange Dream in it, I am a fan of.
That's how you almost got started, too.
It's true. All right, 75 grams. Yeah, you'll see one of our first snakes later who was a super OD Enchi. This one.
You might want to rewrite the number on there when you get a chance.
Yeah, sorry.
76 is an Inchy Yellow Belly Lesser, so it'll have a more buttery looking color.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, Oi Boy.
Definitely, this is like the same thing. I love this so much, but instead of the darker colors on the dorsal and between the alien heads, you get more of that brown, sort of buttery, creamy color. It is... Lesser is not a really popular trait, but combined with other things, you can get some awesome combos like these.
Lesser's in the blue-eyed leucistic complex, and so if you get 2 copies of the lesser gene, you can get a pretty much all-white snake with blue eyes, among other genes, too.
88.
88 grams.
76.
We're actually starting a new breeding group that is all about the blue-eyed leucistic and super versions of those. So we're getting Mojave Special, Super Mojave, Lesser Mojave, all of those lesser specials. This should be exactly the same. Inchy Yellow Belly Lesser.
Yep, same exact
70.
traits.
Oh wait, that was 76.
I think it's a fun example of how, a snake's pattern is a lot like a human fingerprint. Like everyone is pretty distinct, and while they might follow certain trends or patterns, you can definitely identify a snake by matching its pattern in different photos.
And the color on these ball pythons is very reminiscent of the natural color on our womas.
95 grams.
Nice. That was number 77, weighed 95 grams. 79 is a Pastel Yellow Belly Super Inchy. So it's very similar to the previous ones, except it has 2 copies of the Inchy gene, which messes with the pattern even more and should result, Pastel Super Inchy should result with an arrowhead on the head.
Yeah, check out that head stamp. It is one of the coolest things that we got to produce this year. Love this animal. It's so pretty. It's got those green Enchy eyes. Definitely a very iconic animal.
Melissa McDonald says, oh, just gorgeous on the other one. And Ellie Silver Surfer says, are these good starter snakes for rookies? Yes, they're one of the 2 or 3 best starter snakes.
Ooh, and this one's 102 grams. Doing
very
great.
Nice. Ball pythons are not only the most popular pet snake, they're the most popular for a reason.
Yeah, they are very, very uninclined to even bluff strike at you. Like they are very well, okay, except for when they're young, it's more likely to happen. These snakes have recently picked up a new trend of if I move my hand by their enclosures, they strike at the edge of the enclosures, like thinking it's food time. So we're number 80.
This is number 80, which is a super inchy pastel orange dream yellow belly. So not lesser in this one.
But it has got some amazing coloration. In fact, let me pull out that last one again so you can really compare the difference of these two snakes when you add the orange dream gene in there. It almost like cleans up the pattern. It doesn't have quite as much graininess as this one does, and it really enhances that yellow color to like, I don't know. I find this color slightly more saturated and appealing than this one.
Right by what your index finger is covering up on there, if you tilt your hand back, you can see massive orange color and the flaming there that would make you think, well, that's yellow belly orange dream there, along with super inchy and pastel.
It's got that same arrowhead head stamp and the green inchy eyes. So pretty.
I think the next snake is going to look exactly like that one too.
And this one is doing 90 grams right now.
90 grams for number 80. That's been added. I believe next is...
Oh, nope, this one is like very normal looking.
Oh.
We're at 85.
Hang on, I've got to keep going until I get back. Yes, 85 is just a pastel.
This one needs some water, but yes. Honestly, these snakes, sometimes I think these snakes are kind of the better ones to start with. It gives you an appreciation for some of the more normal coloration, and they're so much more affordable. These are great animals. We sold more like this at the shows than we sold of the fancier combos. So
that is a pastel. Its mom was a super pastel. Its dad was a pastel cinnamon that's het for black axanthic. So it's possible that it's het for black axanthic. But we didn't list that because we don't have any way to check for it right now.
This baby is 80 grams.
80 grams it is. Number 85 is 80 grams.
This one, so like we talk about kind of how they have random quirks and preferences, how that one snake, you know, we offered everything to it and it didn't take. This one has eaten only twice and they've both been mice. It won't take rats, but she'll take mice. Just one of those things. It's one of the reasons why some people would say that ball pythons are maybe not the best beginner snake. I think they're still an absolutely phenomenal beginner snake, but they do kind of get picky sometimes. They'll go on hunger strikes where they won't eat for months at a time. It's very normal of ball pythons to do that. Not so much at a younger age. At a younger age, they definitely need to be eating more. But once they're bigger, their metabolism slows so much that they can go like a whole month without eating, and it would be entirely unproblematic for them.
Black Lupus is saying videos constantly buffering. Unless somebody else mentions that, then it's probably on your end. I'm not seeing any dropped frames or anything else here. Melissa says they're so calm. And also, do you have to keep the room at a particular temperature and humidity level?
So we keep at our house at about 70 degrees, and that's pretty much perfect for a cool end of a ball python hide. At the end of all of these rack systems, there is a piece of heat tape that is about 90 degrees. So basically, they have a full range from 90 to 70 degrees, so they can regulate their own temperature however they're feeling.
When it comes to humidity, we keep their water bowls full. We add water fairly regularly. And when we notice anybody's having a difficult shed, we'll do a soak. But also, we've started misting just a little bit more as it's a bit drier here, and that's impacted some of it. This should be number 88, the Super Pastel Cinnamon.
Yes, this is the Sterling. So interestingly enough, the last snake that hadn't eaten yet looked far in worse shape. Actually, that one had eaten a meal, but nothing else since like its first meal. This Sterling has eaten nothing as well, but looks pretty healthy to me. I mean, it's a good thick middle body. The back is still rounded. There's no sharp edge for the spine. So despite not eating, I'm not really concerned about this one's health. Yeah, she looks pretty good to me.
But she will also get assist feeding in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Just because we won't sell any snake until they've had at least 4 meals and 2 sheds. And
Ideally, I'd like them to be like 100 grams, but you can't. Some people are willing to buy younger snakes. It's just there's a risk when you do that. So, 64 grams on this one.
that's almost where she was when she was born.
Yep.
So we won't sell anything until they've had at least 4 meals. And basically, we're at a point now with that one and one or two. Most of our snakes have had eaten really well.
All right.
But those two, we've got something to work
So
on.
this one is a very special one.
Is
that
this 89?
I have to show, yes. So I'm going to pull back out this last girl only to show you a size comparison. So something very special happened with this little fella here. We've deemed a little bit. Can you see the difference in their head structure size? So little bit seemed to have a twin in his egg that didn't develop and ended up just kind of turning into a mass in the egg by the time he was ready to hatch. But little bit did just fine and was actually the first one out of his egg in his clutch. But unfortunately, the twin taking up so much space in his egg stunted his size development. So despite he's eaten multiple meals, he's drinking water, he's moving around, he's a fully healthy snake, he is just extra, extra tiny. And he is so cute. I love him.
He was 22 grams when he hatched, and we're getting ready to weigh him right now. So Braden says, my hotspot's 90, my room is 80. Is that too much?
No, I mean, it could be, but
I'm not going to tell you what your room should be. I would go slightly cooler in the room just to get a bigger variant. But no, it's probably not a problem at all. What was the weight?
25.
25.
So he's not really much change.
He's only eaten a couple small mice.
Yeah, I mean, all he's able to eat because his body is so small are pinky mice, which are extraordinarily small. So he's not going to be able to put on weight as fast as some of the other ones. But that's okay. I'm just thrilled that he is living and doing seemingly quite well. So this was a clutch mate of Little Bit. This is a leopard pied. I know we have somebody who was really interested and I think was going to try to take this one, but I believe they've come on hard times and are not going to be able to move forward. So still available, has this really beautiful mixed pattern on that saddle. Really nice mix of color and whiteness for a pied. Yeah, I love him. Real cute.
Kyle says, how do you ship snakes since you're going to sell on Morph Market?
Well, 96 grams
96
for
grams.
this one. So it depends, where you're shipping from and where you're shipping to. There are heat packs and cool packs, and there's like one type of pack that like thermoregulates either direction. For most hatchlings, you're going to put them in a 12 by 9 by 6 box, usually in a bag, stuffed with lots of packing paper around them so they're not going to move around too much. And then you put so if we were shipping to one of the northern states from here, we would probably put a heat pack on the inside because that snake is going to probably be exposed to cooler weather, but it's not going to get any hotter, with a little bit of distance from that heat pack than say 90 degrees within the box. So it's well within its comfortable range. But sometimes in shipping, temperatures do drop, and these companies have been working on shipping reptiles for years and years, and overwhelmingly, while there are deaths on arrival from time to time, it is extraordinarily rare. Most animals do just fine in the shipping process. I think they get more stressed by being introduced to a new enclosure and environment when they get to the home than by the shipping process.
We make use of services like shipyourreptiles.com, and you would enter where you're shipping from, where you're shipping to. They look at the weather reports, they look at the temperatures, and they will make their recommendations about whether or not you should include a heat pack, a cool pack, or whether you just shouldn't ship at all. and there's a couple of different services like that, Redline and shipyourreptiles.com. We're not sure exactly which one we're going to use yet. So if either of you want to sponsor Epic Loot Exotics, by all means, contact me, and we'll be happy to promote your stuff. Also, Gigi said, do snakes care about seeing other snakes? Like, do they want to play, attack, or depends? You can't answer this question for snakes because there are snakes that eat snakes. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we'll be picking up snakes that will like to eat rattlesnakes and other things. Ball pythons, though, don't eat other snakes. They don't eat other reptiles. And you don't want to cohab them. You don't want to put multiples in the same enclosure except for breeding purposes because they can fight and do damage. But no, they don't play.
Yeah, reptiles in general don't really have a concept of play behavior. That's more of a mammalian and higher thing, from what I understand. Well, I guess birds do it too. But even the things that kind of look like play to humans, like from bearded dragons, are usually other displays of behavior, like dominance or arousal or something like that. But snakes, especially bell pythons, you're not going to really see play behavior. But earlier, I was telling you we have some younger snakes, some of the newest in our collection, who are, for some reason, the thickest and heaviest bodied of them all. And that is this guy right here. He is a thick, heavy boy. He has had 2 meals, but he looks bigger than half the other snakes in that rack. Probably most of the other snakes. We'll get a nice weight on him.
Visually, he's a normal, but he is possibly het pied.
All right.
I guess bet he's 92.
111. 112, actually. It corrected itself.
All right. One of the things to note is that, and we're not going to be able to show you this today because the 2 clutches of eggs that we got yesterday are downstairs in the incubator. But the 2 clutches that we got yesterday, the eggs were obviously very different sizes. There were 7 kind of smaller to medium eggs and 4 pretty good size eggs. And that's going to determine the initial weight of the snakes. Now, a little bit was 22 grams. Most of our other snakes have been about 60, 65 grams. There's a couple that were close to 45 or 50, and there were some others that were 80 or 90 grams.
Yeah, there's definitely a fair amount of variation. So this is another visual normal who came from that same clutch and is also just thicker bodied. I think something about its parents just have coded for some thick-bellied snakes. This one has also only had 2 meals. Takes them without hesitation. It's not like he's coy, and that's why he's only had 2 meals. He's taken everything he's been offered. He's just a big boy.
Some things of note that some of you will be able to see, especially when Arden's holding snakes up there. Once I get the weight.
105.
105. Hold him back up there again, because there's a number of different things you can look for in these ball pythons. This is visually it's a normal. It might be het pied, but you can't tell that by looking, and we don't even see any pied markers. But you see how varied the pattern is. There are alien heads with eye holes that are deformed, and 3 of them, and all kinds of. You could look at this and say, oh my gosh, there's something wild going on with that pattern, and maybe there is. But as far as we know, there's no other genes in there. But if you look at the belly of this snake, you can see the normal patterning of that belly. In a little while, yeah, that's pretty good. You want to stay just back where the light still hits it. But yeah, that's great. We'll show you the bellies on some of the other ones because you'll see the patterns and color change for different morphs in 4 primarily different locations. One is the head. The next one is the body itself. The third one is from the tail onward. And then the 4th one is what it does to the belly and how that impacts it, whether it moves the pattern up. All right, that was 92?
Yep.
Next should be, okay, not 93 because that's Janice.
95.
95 is a pastel cinnamon piebald. So this is a pewter pied. It's going to be a little snippy with her.
Yeah, I might get bit here. This one has been very unafraid to tell me how unhappy she is. In fact, I think she looks pretty pissed that I'm putting her in the light.
So this is a pastel cinnamon piebald that is also 50% likely to be het for lavender, which means this is a possible dreamsicle breeder here. We're going to probably have to do a shed test on this one.
95 grams.
95
She's doing
grams.
great.
Good job.
and no snapping at me. I'm very impressed. Since she's been born, actually, the first few meals she was offered, she didn't take, but she struck at them like crazy, and she struck at us like crazy, and now she started actually taking her meals, but yeah, she's been very sassy. So the next one is going to be another pastel cinnamon pied. Ooh, oh, wow, yep, this one's actually extra spicy. We're going to get you in a place where I can grab you without you biting me right away.
Exactly the same genes on this one.
But look at the asymmetrical face pattern. Yeah, that extreme high white asymmetry in pie, that is all coming from that cinnamon gene mixed with the pastel. It's beautiful.
I can probably get it to snap at me.
She's looking back at me.
No.
Because she's eyeing me to be like, why the fuck are you touching me?
So yeah, another pastel cinnamon piebald that is het lavender, or possibly het lavender.
Right, 94.
And also, the only difference between the two of those is that the other one has no saddles, and that one that you just saw has one saddle on its tail, which I think is really cute.
And that also is a good way to show that, like, most ball pythons are going to be pretty tolerant to handling. Ball pythons are generally not aggressive animals at all. Their coping mechanism with predators is to curl up in a ball and just hope that they go away. That's why they're called ball pythons. But every animal's different, and I think if that animal's genes propagated and dominated, we'd live in a world with very aggressive ball pythons.
This is a banana cinnamon het pied, 100% het pied, 50% het lavender.
So it's kind of similar to, is it cinnamon and black pastel that are similar? Yeah.
Cinnamon and black pastel are both in the 8-ball.
So you can see kind of how back on some of those earlier snakes, you've got some very similar patterning and coloration. That's just because those two genes exist at the same place on the allele. So they are very closely related, and if you were to have both of those genes, you would have an allelic combo.
You need to kind of flip everything around to be able to see the cinnamon on there. Yep. There we go. If you move all the way up to with like in 2 inches of the camera, but still in the light. Yep, there we go. Now you can see the cinnamon, which causes the alien heads to kind of chain together. Like this is just one big long chain of pattern along there. That's one of the effects of cinnamon. So yeah, banana cinnamon piebald or het pied, and 50% het lavender.
106.
Wow, good girl.
I didn't think she looked that thick, but also we know it's a her because every banana that's a female was sired by our banana ball python Ray Comfort, who the banana trait is actually sex linked, and so you have parents who, and if their banana gene passes, all of those offspring will be guaranteed female or guaranteed male. It's actually a lot more common, I think, to have a male maker banana than a female maker, but we definitely have a female maker. That was...
Layla said this one looks like peanut butter. I'm not sure which one they were talking about, but the banana cinnamon probably would. Number 98 should be next.
Yep, now we're on to some of our newer snakes.
No.
No, you don't want to do that?
For some reason, that's not number 98.
Yeah, we don't have a number 98.
Yeah, but the system says we do.
Isn't that an adult?
No.
Okay.
It says we have a 90. Oh, they're over there. 98, 99, 100, 101.
Ah, yes. Okay.
I was like, no, this is one of Ariana's babies. So this 98 is a pastel that is 100% het pied and 50% het lav. So
looking real nice and healthy, good shape, nice and thick body. But yeah, just a pastel visually.
Okay.
And this snake is 103 grams. Wow.
Nice. That one's been a pretty good eater.
I've only got 2 marks over here, but there's a chance we fed her once before we marked it.
Yeah, there's a third one we didn't mark, but also these were Ariana's babies. They were generally pretty big. Number 99 is a cinnamon that is het pied and 50% het lav.
Yeah, this is a good chance. So we had that banana cinnamon out here earlier. This is a good chance to show you what cinnamon looks like on its own. Still have that chaining together, right? And see, it's kind of got like a bit slightly darker black area on the dorsal. That is why on bananas, it becomes more purple looking. That color changes. But yep, it is a gorgeous little animal. Let's get him
Lily
weighed.
says, I never really cared about snakes too much. This is making me want to enter this world too. They're so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I just love them to pieces.
It's an addiction. 83 grams.
83 grams.
This
All
one's
right.
also a little spicier. He's giving me the look. You get used to ball python body language and how they communicate when they're like, I really don't want you to bother me right now.
Number 100 is a pastel cinnamon. Oh, wait, no.
This is a banana pewter.
Yes, a banana pastel cinnamon that is het pied and 50% het lavender.
So this animal is really cool. Actually, when it hatched, we thought it was possibly another sterling because it was so white. But now that it's a little bit older, you can definitely tell it's got those yellow hues. But there's almost like a green undertone, I think, to some of this, which is really cool.
You can see the belly's completely clear.
Yep.
And there's a real lightness along the edge of the belly even. This is one copy of pastel, one copy of cinnamon, one copy of banana, and it's 100% het pied. You can check, see if it's got a ringer.
So it's not a guarantee, but sometimes there is a ring of white on the tail that some people believe is associated with the pied gene.
This one we know is het pied.
Yeah, right. This one's guaranteed because its parent was a pied. But also you can kind of see that same chaining together of the pattern. But it's wild that the banana cinnamon, can we actually pull that back out again? Is so dark, but just one copy of pastel turns this into this. And I think that is so cool. Ball python genetics are really wild, and I mean, animal genetics in general are pretty crazy. But
there's a good amount of variance, and it's sometimes a little difficult to identify new clutches, but
this little girl is 111 grams already.
Nice. And the next one, which is number 101, is our pastel banana pied that is 50% het lavender, but it's one of my favorite snakes we've produced. It is absolutely just like, if I didn't know, I would swear there's yellow belly in there just from the pixelation. That's like,
Yeah.
you see this pixelation right here?
It's also, we thought, because it's a little bit more of a wacky pattern than typically with pastel banana pieds, we thought that maybe there was cinnamon in there, but the problem is that, like we showed you guys with those pewter pieds earlier, when you have cinnamon in a pied, it's almost entirely white, and you'll just get some blotches on the head and maybe one saddle on the body.
Yep.
But as you can see, she's got 3 saddles, 4 actually, one on her neck as well as her head, and a little bit on her tail. So like, definitely not a cinnamon, but so cool.
She is my favorite piebald that we produced. I like a good like 50-50 mix of white and saddles.
All right, we've got 88 grams on this girl.
Well, give her some more food. I want to get her fattened up.
All right, now we can do 103 over here. Yes.
Okay, 102 is barbecue. This is in the other room.
Right.
Number 103, and we're gonna have to do a little bit in addition to weighing here. I'm gonna do some editing, but we'll weigh first, and then I'll update.
Okay.
So these are all going to be lavender albinos, and some of them are going to be pinstripe, some of them are going to be blackhead, and some of them are going to be both pinstripe and blackhead.
So 66 grams on this one.
Okay.
So this is actually not our newest clutch now. The albinos that we'll get to after that are our newest clutch, but these just got out of the incubator and moved into their own solo tubs. This one has eaten a meal. So blackhead, as you saw with, was it this snake? Nope. Sorry to disturb you. Uh, Here we go. Blackhead, as you see with a normal colored snake, really darkens the area between the alien heads. And when you have any type of albino, albinism removes melanin. So the gene that makes that black color is, or the protein that makes that black color is not generated in their body. And when you have blackhead in, typically you get a much sharper white in contrast. Blackhead does do some other things like intense blushing, and instead of doing these alien heads where you have two holes, you'll get more of these keyhole patterns. But we're not super comfortable identifying which ones might be blackhead and which ones might not yet. We have some suspicions, but I think we're probably going to have to consult maybe with somebody for some expert advice. But lavender albino, one of my favorite genes, makes absolutely beautiful snakes. You ready? Can I move on, or you want me to wait?
That's 103. Whoops. I need to edit to change its name to C23 dash crap.
Oh, you're okay. I like to try to do some desensitization, touching them under the jaw and the nose. That way they know when humans interact with them, it's not dangerous or scary. But everyone wants to boop the snoot. Isn't that right?
All right. 103 is updated with everything but a picture. We'll do that later.
Okay. I think this one could be blackhead, but I really don't know. Gonna have to do a lot.
The hard thing is that the way the lavender albino works, the blackhead would make the head darker, and then the albino would make the head whiter.
Right.
Because that black part, the darker part, becomes white.
So this is another one from that same clutch. The only real difference here, it could be also blackhead, but this one has the pinstripe gene. We do have an adult with pinstripe that I'll pull out later so you can see what that gene looks like in a normal, but has this amazing effect on lavender albinos where the color just consumes their whole body and you get this completely orange snake. Pinstripe has been around for a long time. It's not really a super valuable gene anymore. But I just love these animals. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Absolutely going to be a great fit for a breeding program or a home someday. Yeah.
Cool. We gotta wait.
This little fella is 71 grams.
All right. And I will do an edit update on this one.
And this one has eaten before. All right, we've got another lavender pinstripe. Possible blackhead. Yeah, every time I think I've seen what might be blackhead, I see something else and I'm like, yep, actually, I don't know.
So this is 105?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
77 grams.
Okay. And that's a pin.
Here we've got a normal lavender, possible blackhead. I'm not noticing anything particularly about this pattern that makes me think blackhead, but I might be looking at it completely wrong. I'm not sure.
All right, there's 106.
Yep, and it's 67 grams.
And it's a pin.
No, not a pin.
Okay, you're going a little fast.
Sorry.
Yeah, after I select the weight, I have to wait for Husbandry Pro to update. Then I have to come in and click edit. Then I have to go in and put in the snake name. And so this is a non-pen number 4. And then I have to remove the pin from that and click, oh, and I got to remove the blackhead from that and click save. And then Husbandry Pro's got to update. Wow, already fucking this up.
Yeah, Husbandry Pro could be frustrating sometimes.
This is 107.
Yep, this is 107.
Okay.
This is not a pin.
Not a pin. Weight.
And the weight. So I heard weight and I thought it meant W-A-I-T. 72 grams.
All right, so not a pin. It's number 5.
Hmm.
108
Not a
is
pin.
not a pin.
I think there's a decent chance this one's blackhead. It's got incredible blushing on its head that the others have, but not quite that intense, and these cool keyholes. But I'm not going to say hard yes or hard no, because I don't know.
Kyle said, including the babies, how many total snakes do you have right now? Right now or after tomorrow?
We are getting 2 more tomorrow.
3 more. What's the weight?
69.
69.
Nice.
We're getting 3 more tomorrow. We have, hang on, I've still got to do editing. What was that one?
69.
No.
108.
No, jeans.
Not a pin.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Not a pen.
See if I can pull up chat over here. Why is my phone? There we go. King snakes eat other snakes. Yeah, we're actually getting some milk snakes, which are the same genus.
Yeah, milk snakes are in the king snake family. Go. You do.
Tiger style. Yeah, the names are kind of silly sometimes. Bye, Melissa. Enjoy dinner. So, we have 3 more in this rack. And then 7 total after that. Or 8 total after that. And then we'll move on to weighing our adult males. Doing a little health check-in with them. So I guess while we wait on that, I can talk about some other things. Good things to do if you're going to get a new snake. I always love to do a nice little checkup on them. Places to check are like their tail, their vent. That is their cloaca, or their vent, the hole where all the stuff comes out of. If there are going to be any parasites, that is a common place they hide, as well as they're not going to like it, but you're not going to hurt them. If you hold their head, you'll notice that little line under their jaw. That is a common place parasites like to hide. So usually it's nice to check that, and their tail. If you notice any bubbling or foaming around their mouth, it's a good chance they have some sort of respiratory infection. Could be too humid in their enclosure where they're coming from. Those are some of the signs you can look out for.
This is 109?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Not a pin, and it is 71 grams.
Okay. Okay, so it's not a peg.
You'll notice we have a lot of these because the mother of that clutch is huge, and so she produces a lot of eggs.
Okay, number 110.
This one is a pinstripe, looks gorgeous, and they are 66 grams.
There are definitely less fruit flies.
Yeah, that one of the traps I said is literally so full of them, it's ridiculous.
This one is a pinstripe, you said?
Yes, that one was a pinstripe.
I've got to fix something in Husbandry Pro real quick.
Gigi said the colors look like art. Would make a beautiful painting using a few. Yeah, actually, somebody who had helped us with some logo stuff did a painting of the banana pastel pie that I showed you just a little bit ago. It was really cool. It was a really nice painting. Very expressive, really captured what the animal looks like.
All right, so this should be 111.
Yes. This is a pinstripe,
Wait,
70 grams. Still am like, are you saying W-A-I-T or what?
I'll say hold up.
Okay. Only got 3 more in this lavender clutch.
9.
Now this one has got a lot of crazy dark orange blushing along the sides. I've seen some instances that that's associated with blackhead, so there's a chance that this one is a blackhead lavender pin, but
This is number 112,
yep,
and it weighs,
67 grams.
okay, and it's a pin.
Yep. All right, I need the step ladder to get up here for these next two. Oh, our albino superconda hognose is up front, looking for some attention. Or a meal, probably.
Okay, this should be 113.
This is 113. It is a pinstripe.
Okay, and it weighs,
66 grams.
okay,
Yeah. It's unfortunately pretty large enclosures for them. It can actually be harder for them to want to get started on food when they're in big enclosures because they don't quite feel as secure and safe. But it is all we have available for right now. We're getting a new rack in a couple weeks.
We also put the little water bowls in there so they have a hide to hide underneath.
Yeah.
And after a couple days of that, I think it's more likely that the two, they're almost all of them ate. There were 2 of them that didn't eat at all.
Yeah.
This is 114.
Yep. It's another pin, and it weighs 66 grams.
Okay.
Almost all of them, I think the average is probably pretty close to 66 or 67.
Okay.
All right. So that was the end of the lavender albino.
Yep, give me a minute to sort through this. That was a pen.
Can't get over Speedy.
All right, let me check these. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got one of them wrong.
You did. Okay.
Go back to 103.
Kate. Speedy wanted to make an appearance. 103 is right
Should be
here.
a non-pin.
Non-pin.
104. Pin.
Pin.
105 pin.
Yep.
106 not a pin.
Correct.
107 not a pin.
Yes.
108 not a pin.
Correct.
109 is a pin.
No, 109 is not a pin.
Okay. 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 are all pins then. This is the one that was wrong.
Yep, that is correct.
Aha. I didn't get it wrong in anything other than cut and pasting a name. So all the rest of the detail there was correct. All right. Let me...
Need a drink of my tea.
Me too. And we have 6 more babies.
Yep.
And all of these are going to be regular albinos, so you'll notice a color distinction between the lavender albinos, which are more orange with a brighter white to begin with, and the regular albinos, which are slightly yellower. 50% of these are yellow belly. We just haven't gone through to identify which ones yet, and we're not gonna bother with that today. I have other questions in chat.
Okay. So yeah, so you can probably already tell right away that there's a much more yellow color. I know albinos are not big fans of having bright light in their eyes. But yeah, there should be some blushing that we would notice with the, well, hold on, let me, oh, he's under, oh no, he's right here. Hi, buddy. So this is their dad, who is an albino yellow belly, and when I look at him, I feel like I can see it compared to the plain albino female that he was paired with.
Pull it in really close, and what you can see,
Like
what
the
you can
body.
see right here where your finger is orange and yellow.
Yeah.
There's 2 tones right there.
And so we're kind of trying to look for that on their bodies, but it's a lot harder to see at this age. I think as they get older and yellow out a little, which all snakes kind of become more bland as they get older, it'll be more obvious which ones are which, but right now it's a little bit hard to tell. So this is 115.
Yeah. Kyle, I'm not going to go over that right now. We'll talk about it another time. We've got some videos on the other stuff, but yeah, it's...
115 is 84 grams.
Okay, hang on. Wait. 84 grams. And number 115. Let me edit this. Ten is
I think it's interesting to note that, what?
nothing. I'll tell you later, it's funny.
Okay. The lavender albinos are slightly older than the regular albinos by like a week or two. And their average weight, which for not eating as many meals yet makes sense, was about 67 grams. The 2 first regular albinos that I've weighed, who have not had an opportunity to eat a meal yet, were both 80 grams.
Thank you. 80 grams for number 116.
It is an interesting just variation that some animals can have. Not everyone is the same. Isn't that a novel idea. No one's ever said that before.
No, the thing that was funny is our habits from doing live TV. We have similar timing,
Yeah.
including on similar timing on when there's been too much dead air.
Yeah.
And literally every time I finish, and I like 10 times now, I've finished and I've been getting ready to say the next thing. That's exactly when you decide there's been too much dead air and start talking. And I'm like,
Well,
but you got a light in your face.
can always find something to say. That is the bonus part. So
right.
this one actually hasn't shed out yet. It's first shed.
Yeah, that's 117.
Yep.
Okay.
We moved this one up a little bit early before its first shed because the rest of its siblings had shed and we needed the space in the incubator.
What's it weigh?
It weighs 64 grams.
64 grams. I will submit that and I will edit this. One of the things I'm doing, for those who don't know, is I am adding the snake names, which are just my custom naming convention, so that I can look at them at a glance and see that not just the number, but that this snake is an albino that is possibly yellow belly.
So we were kind of back and forth. You might be able to tell, if you don't notice, that's totally okay, that this snake is slightly more orange in the alien heads than the other ones, which are more yellow. And I think that there's a chance that this one is a yellow belly, but we don't have the blushing, or the bellies are always going to be clear on albinos to tell, like you can with a normal, if it's got yellow belly or not. So it's pretty difficult. We could have it totally backwards, and it could be the lighter ones are yellow belly. 73 grams.
I will say that one thing we noticed is that you could divide that clutch of 6 snakes into 2 groups of 3, with one group of 3 being noticeably darker orange than the others.
You've got another one of the oranges. I think you might have intentionally put all the orange ones at the end to keep them separated like that.
You got to keep them separated. You're welcome.
You're clever. I mean, and this one, it does have a nice little flame right there. So that could be the yellow belly coming through.
There's a couple flames on this side too. I'd say that's my number 1 pick right now for being yellow belly.
Yeah. It's a really pretty albino.
That should be... crap.
70 grams.
Which one's this?
119.
Okay, I'm not there yet. I just finished with 118.
Okay.
So 119 is 70 grams. Boom, 70 grams. Let me add this. Kyle says, got to head out. Matt and Arden, have a great Veterans Day. Matt, not sure if that matters to you or not. Either way, have a great night with snakes. Thanks so much, Kyle. I didn't even know it was Veterans Day. I mean, it's an important day, but not about the fact that I was a veteran. That's not a big deal. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
This one, also from the darker orange group, has some nice flames going up the side. So another good contender, I think, for a yellow belly. I'd be happy to have somebody who's a little bit more experienced with identifying this pairing to give us some pointers, but probably that's how we'll list them.
This should be 120?
Yep.
So this
Also, I've got is there a mute button on here? Because I have to like cough, and I don't want to cough right into the...
I think there is, but I genuinely don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Here, hang on. I can mute you over here. All right, number 120 weighs...
78 grams.
Wow, Fatty McFatterton of the new group. Good job.
The first two are also like 80 grams, though. All right. That is all of the babies. Weigh checked in.
I'm almost done.
Have a few marked for...
After we get a couple meals in those, we'll get pictures of those snakes. And yeah, I need to stretch.
Would you like to switch places?
We can do that. We need to set up a slightly different tub setup. What if you come around over here where you can see, I'll show you what wow. Of course my meds are going to make me do that all now. You can ignore the dashboard, the breeding thing, the incubation stuff. I just got the animals list. And what I've been doing is, like, I just do a middle click here to open up the snake. And from there I can do post activity, weight, and then put the weight in, and then just close that tab, and then go on to the next one and be finding them here.
Okay.
You can also, well, you can find them however you want here, but you'll be able to see chat. And
yeah, let me grab my drink while you...
Limited amount of time I can sit there hunched over that laptop before my back says, hey, stand up, dumbass.
I don't know if this tub will be big enough for all the adults, but I think it probably will work.
I'll try it. All right.
If not, you do have this white one over here.
Yeah, I'll just go with this one for now.
Okay.
Move my... I just realized how hard it is for you to see me from over here, which is also a problem. And the number of times I'd be like, where I was getting ready to say it, and you're like, you can't say it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I was telling you. I wanted to turn that light down because you can't see anything. It does make the camera look better, but...
All right. Let me get some paper towels out of the way here. We're going to start with, I'm just going to go, if you want to preload them, Aurora Z, Spot, Ray, Biden. Those are the first four.
Okay.
All right. Come on back out, Aurora Z. Aurora Z, who you just saw, is our albino yellow belly male. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see in all the little alien heads, there's like a two-tone orange and yellow thing there. He's sired a couple clutches for us already, including the babies you just saw. And he weighs, I'm going to guess, I'm going to try and make a game out of this. I'm going to guess that he's 1,800 grams. 1912.
Good year. Yeah, seems like that tub is a little too small for some of the bigger ones.
No. Get back in. Get back in here. You're going to be fine. Just give me a second to get your tub situated. All right. 1912 for Aurora Z.
Yep. Got it in.
Next one is Spot. Hey, buddy. Spot is a super pastel, spot nose, het lavender albino. And the only thing we can say with confidence about het lavender albinos until you actually breed them out is that the only sign is that they might make the snake a little bit lighter, but with Spot you already have 2 copies of pastel, which is making him lighter. It's also giving him that incredible good blushing on his head. And then you have Spot Nose, which gives him the kind of skull-shaped blushing on his head. But yeah, Spot Nose, pastel, and he is 817.
817.
Which is big enough breeder for a male. He's also a few years old. He's just stayed relatively small. He was a picky eater when we first got him.
Yeah.
And he's been a little picky from time to time, but not bad.
He's definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
Hi, Peace and Pets. What's up to you as well?
Ray is next. Hey, buddy. Ray visually is a banana. And so you're going to see a really stereotypical banana presentation with spots. This is the normal coloring. Ray is also het piebald, het lavender. So he's a het dreamsicle because that's what you get when you combine those two. And he was our main dreamsicle breeder until we got Mayfield, who you'll see shortly. But yeah, he went off food for a little while when he was breeding, but he's been back on and eating pretty well. And he weighs 1729.
1729.
Okay. Good job, Ray. Next is Biden, who's a blackhead lavender albino.
Hello, Mr. President.
You may see this and say, isn't that a banana? But this is what an adult lavender looks like. The oranges yellow out, and the white areas become a little darker. Now, he's a blackhead lavender albino, and so you can see the blushing on his head. And it makes all this just a little bit darker. He's he produced several clutches for us, and he also feels really light. I'd be surprised if he's more than like 1,000.
He's kind of been on a bit of a feeding strike lately, so
955.
yeah. Yeah, another thing I love about lavender albinos is they tend to have melanin still in their eyes, which means they don't have the light sensitivity that normal albinos do. And that white area, like you pointed out, is more purpley lavender colored than white.
I'm sticking with the boys for now, so we'll go
Okay.
Diggle, Huey, and then Bam Bam.
All right.
Hey, Dig. Now, Diggle is a regular albino. Oh, you got a little bit of stuck shed, too. Oh. Diggle's a regular albino that is also black pastel and leopard. And what that does, the black pastel really sharpens up and opens up this pattern on the side. He will yellow out a bit more as he gets older. Yeah, you got a little stuck shed down by your tail. That's what the black pastel does, kind of makes those loopy sides there. And leopard adds more dark coloration and cleans up the pattern, or makes it crisper. And so that's why he's a higher white than some of the other albinos. He is our future replacement, 624. He's the future replacement for Aurora Z, our albino yellow belly male. We're going to replace Aurora Z with Diggle next year, and he'll be our main albino breeder.
Yep. Slightly bigger fan of the black pastel and the leopard combo in albinos than just yellow belly. It's a little bit easier to identify as well.
I can't see you very well, buddy. Come here. All right, this is Huey. Huey, we're not going to be breeding next year. He produced this year. We confirmed he's leopard, and so you can see that darkening of his pattern and the slight kind of pattern change. Is not quite inchy, but it's definitely darker.
It's going in his shed too. I see his eyes are bluing up a little.
Yeah. So he is a leopard. He is also absolutely proven het pied. Matter of fact, he's the sire of the leopard pied baby that you saw just a little bit ago. And I'm going to guess on him 1275.
He's also one of my favorite adult snakes that we have to handle. He's being squirmy right now because he's in shed, and so he's freaking out. He doesn't want to be, he wants to feel safe, and he can't see anything. But normally, he's very, very easy to handle.
He is not being easy to handle.
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
I can see him squirming so much right now.
1505.
1505.
Which means he's put a little back on, I think.
Good. Yeah, he also went on a very long hunger strike during breeding season. It's pretty typical of male ball pythons to do. It's not really anything that had us worried, but, you know, when your snake doesn't eat for 6 months, even if you think it's normal, you're still kind of like, hello, are you okay?
This is Bam Bam, who's also going into shed. He's a pastel cinnamon, which is also known as a pewter, and he's het for black axanthic, but we don't have any black axanthic females to pair him with. So you can see how the cinnamon is kind of opening up, like a lot of the other morphs in the 8-ball complex, opening up and kind of chaining some of these together. Hey, buddy, I know he is deep in blue. Look at those eyes, how white those are. Good chance to look at his belly as well, which is nice and clean as well. But yeah, pastel, cinnamon. And I'm going to say I'm going to guess he's 875, but wow, was I wrong. 1184.
Nice.
Good job. He stopped eating for a month, but then he started pounding rats every time we'd offer. Those are all girls, and Alpine's a girl. So I'm going to keep going with the next row down.
Okay.
Spinach. Spinach is a super pastel inchy GHI who's also having a difficult shed and who feels like he weighs about 900 grams right now. But yeah, we got to, oh, he's going to need a soak.
Yep. If you want to mark anyone who's having a bad shed, I can give them an electrolyte bath later.
1011.
1011 for spinach.
Yeah, he's got water in there and there's water on his stuff, but yeah, I'll do that. So Bam Bam's going into shed, spinach. I'm going to put an S. Who else did we say? Diggle. I think that was it so far.
I think, yeah, I already put a watermark on one of the babies who had a rough shed.
Next is, I'll do, you got spinach, right?
Yep.
So I'll do Charlie and Al and Paul.
Okay.
Hey, Charlie.
For some reason, when I search Al, I don't get anything, even though I have Charlie pulled up already. I have to scroll for him. There he is.
This is Charlie, who's going to look very similar to spinach. He's just an inchy orange dream, and he was listed as possible yellow belly. We were pretty sure he was yellow belly, and then we bred him and proved that he was yellow belly. So he is an inchy orange dream yellow belly. You can see the oranging, the inchy patterning causing the banding. And yellow belly adds some flaming on the bottom and pixelation. But he's so good. Yeah, you're such a sweetie. I'm going to guess he's 1120, but could be wrong. I've been off today a couple times. I'm sorry, he's only 1110. I'm a human scale sometimes.
Charlie is one of our few snakes who has a very, very particular food preference, and that is live mice. He won't eat rats. He won't eat anything frozen thawed. He won't even eat frozen thawed mice that are his preference. It has to be a live mouse. But when it's a live mouse, he eats so easy, so good and fast.
This is Al, 1045.
1045 on out.
He's also having a bad shed. He is super vanilla, orange dream yellow belly. So super vanilla not only does his lightening up, but does a pattern morph on here. You can't really see the orange dream. You can see a little bit of the yellow belly in the flaming that's coming up between those. Vanilla changes the pattern enough. Yeah, you need a soak. I'm gonna add some water for you now, and I'm gonna mark your tub. But he is one of my favorite breeders we got this year because he's super vanilla, and vanilla is, vanilla's in the black-eyed Lucy complex along with fire and flame and lemonback and other stuff. And then since he's also got orange dream and yellow belly, since he's got yellow belly, that's part of the super stripe complex. And so we've got Miranda, who is a pastel lemonback gravel. When they breed them together, yellow belly and gravel will be highway potential. And the vanilla lemonback will be kind of vanilla scream-ish. Basically, we're getting two allelic combinations out of that. All right. Next is Paul, who is not a ball python. Paul is a Woma. Hey, buddy. Oh, wow, you're right up front, ready to come out and say hi.
He is always right up front, ready to come out and say hi.
This is Paul. He's a Woma, an Australian python. You can't export or import them anymore, so he's from captive breeding stock that we've had for in the States for a long time.
Anyone who knows Womas might think, wow, that is a remarkably calm snake. Womas have a bit of a reputation for being spicier than some other snakes. but his girlfriend makes up for it by being twice as spicy as any Wilma. So, yeah, Paul is a great. I love that we get to show him off so much because he's just so calm. He's even gentle about taking his food.
Hey, buddy. So everything with a mouth can potentially bite, and he could bite me whenever he wants. He's been the gentlest, literally makes no move to bite, and barely makes a move to bite when we're giving him his food. Probably, like most of the other snakes, could stand to be handled a bit more, but you see he's got an excellent temperament. When I pull out his girlfriend in a little bit, I will have a glove on, and it will be a bit of work because she grips on really, really tightly.
Yep.
So let me get you a quick weight, buddy. I'm sorry. 11-14.
11-14.
This is a full-grown male Woma. Snakes technically never stop growing, and he will continue and get longer. But he is I love the belly. He's an exceptionally just clean and gentle snake. Paul's one of our favorites. All right, buddy. There you go. All right, Skeletor, Sonny, and then Ronald.
Yep. Already got him pulled up.
Sweet. Wow. Skelly's right up front. Skeletor is the first snake that I got for Arden.
This is my son. I birthed him with my body.
He is a banana, spot nose, yellow belly, lesser, fire. And so he's a potential replacement for Al as a breeder too, because he has fire, which is in the black-eyed Lucy complex, and yellow belly, which is in the super stripe complex. He also has spot nose, which everybody wants in their collection, as well as all right, so fire, which is in black-eyed, lesser, which is in the blue-eyed Lucy, yellow belly, which is in super stripe. So he's triple allelic potential combos, and then banana and spot nose. And because of all that lightning between banana, lesser, fire, you can't really see the spot nose pattern, skull-like pattern that would be on his head. Or at least I don't think you can. Do you see it?
No, not really.
But pattern-wise, he is really, I mean, you'd think he's albino almost.
Yeah, his color, the yellows are more albino looking than you'd expect from a banana.
Except that his eyes are black, which shows that he's not actually yellow belly. He is, in fact, banana.
He's a little dirty. You can see dirt on his neck.
Oh, can you? Well, why'd you get dirty right before I pulled you out to show you off? I'm going to say 700, 691, 690. He is a year and some change old, and he's right at 700 grams. Technically, he could breed this year. We probably won't breed him until later this year. In case we have a particular female that doesn't do well with Al, or that blooms late in the year, we're going to be doing ultrasounds too.
I could also see moving him to like a full enclosure and just having him be more of a ambassador animal than necessarily a breeder, because even though he doesn't, we're not quite sure if or how or when we're going to fit him into the plan. He's so handsome. He's my boy.
This is Sunny Boy. Sunny Boy is an inchy het sunset. And so we're not breeding him to anybody right now. But this is part of a potential multi-year project to possibly get some sunsets or work some sunsets in. This guy, this pixelation on here, inchy causes the banding in the patterns, and evidently adds a little bit of orange coloration and some of this pixelation. I've not quite seen it as pronounced. It's that way on
one of our babies that's Enchi has a lot of graininess and pixelation like that as well.
It's that way on Charlie, but Charlie also has OD. So in any case, we'll breed Sunny Boy here, which I'm going to say he's probably 400, 500 grams maybe. 576.
That's impressive. He is almost caught up to Skeletor. He is almost a year younger than Skeletor, but he is just an insane eater. I
Yeah.
mean, absolute powerhouse of an eater.
And I swear, look at that head. Tell me that doesn't look like it might be scaleless head.
There's a little. There's a weird thing going on there. It could just be that he's rubbing his head on the top of the enclosure. That is a thing that some snakes do and causes them to lose a scale or two.
We'll watch him later. Anyway, he's been a great eater and he's growing like a weed. Now this one, hey bud. This is Ronald, who is a lesser clown. And I'm going to say he's right at 500, maybe a little more, maybe 600 grams. Clown is primarily a massive pattern mutation. And of course he's lesser clown, so that's why he gets this butter color. Lesser is also called butter. His weight,
He's also one of our breeder males that's up for sale.
678. Yeah, we bought him to breed some clowns, and then I found a banana blade clown that was already breeder size. So we don't have need for our clown Ronald here. Did you get the weight?
Yep.
So yeah, he's up for sale as well. Sit down, buddy. You're good.
There's only 3 boys left. Mayfield, Bozo, and Einstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mayfield is our visual dreamsicle male. He is a lavender albino pied. So this is a full grown. You can see the beautiful piebald right there, right in there, and the lavender albino for the coloration. Those two together are what's called a dreamsicle. And while it tends to fade out as they get older, there are ways to improve that. And one of the ways to improve that is to create something called an inception, which is an orange dreamsicle. And we have eggs in our incubator right now that are this snake's combined with an orange dream piebald het lavender, which means we could hit inceptions in 53 days.
He's actually so bright that every time you move him, the camera has to take a second to kind of like refocus on him and capture his color in its entirety. There you go. Now I can really get it.
I'm going to say he's right at 1100. 1166.
Got it.
Good job, Mayfield. All right, and thank you for breeding so well. Now this is Bozo, who's going into shed. He's probably not very happy right now. He looks so strange to me because he's peach colored right now.
Yeah.
He is a banana blade clown. You can see the spots from the banana. He is deep in blue.
Weirdly enough, on camera, he almost looks closer to his normal color than... He looks peach colored. You're absolutely right in person. But on camera, he looks almost normal. It's really weird. I don't know if you can really see.
That's fine.
You'll have to watch the playback.
Anyway, he's going to be 1,600 grams if he's an ounce. 1434. I was a little off. That's why we use an actual scale and not just me guessing. But that is our banana blade clown, who is our primary male clown breeder. This, hey buddy, this is Einstein. I'll explain why we named him that in a little while. He is a champagne cinnamon. Beautiful. Champagne, and so cinnamon kind of browns and grays, and champagne is kind of yellow and gray. Wow, he's decided to run his happy little ass.
Squirmy. Have fun getting a weight on him.
Look at this back here. This is something that happens. That ringer that he's got right there is indicative in the 8-ball complex, which is how you end up with something called a gray matter. All right, I need to weigh you, and that means we need to put you in this bucket. 1420.
1420.
So he is a champagne cinnamon, and when you get 1 copy of champagne and 2 copies of cinnamon, so a champagne super cinnamon, you get something that looks piebald and is all gray, and it's called a gray matter. And that's why we named him Einstein, because we're hoping despite some potential problems, we're hoping to get some gray matters out of him. That's all the boys.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to do Chani next.
Okay.
Just so we can see if she's ready to breed now. It's the wrong glove. Where's the other glove?
Should be up there as well. Oh, it could be on top of one of the things that we moved out in the hallway.
All right, I'll check.
On top of the black box, I think. Oh, no, actually, wait, I see it. It's on top of the rack. It's just further back.
Ah, okay.
I thought I saw it. Here you go.
Yeah. I've got, these gloves are made, I don't think these are specifically for venomous.
They're for venomous and like handling birds with sharp talons and all that stuff.
Okay. In any case, this is another Woma. It's the girlfriend of the one I showed you a minute ago. She
has gotten a lot better, admittedly, but oh, I saw her open her mouth at you.
Okay. Here she is. No, don't wrap me. I want to put you in this thing, see if I can get a weight on you right away. $9.20, so she's still a little lighter than we would ideally like.
Yeah, I'd like to see her closer to 13 or even 1500 before we weigh her.
She's going to keep wrapping my hand. I don't even know if you guys can see her. She's not really inclined to bite right now. She's pretty chill. I just use the glove mainly for her protection. I've had her latched onto my finger for 10 minutes before, and it doesn't really hurt. But I don't want to accidentally... Well, you did really good today.
Yeah, that was a good... She let go really easily.
Don't turn around and be bad now. You're okay. She's probably a little bit hungry. And, yeah, she's a great snake. She just grabs on and holds on tighter than any other snake we've got. And she is most inclined to bite. She literally, I don't even remember which finger it was. One of my two index fingers latched onto it. I think it was this one.
I mean, if you think about it, their heads are small. It can't hurt that bad. I mean, they could have a bite force, but their teeth aren't going to be that large.
Yeah, I wear a glove so that I don't do damage to her. I don't want to rip any of her teeth out. It also makes handling her much easier, much calmer.
The sound when you slid that over was so weird. Did you hear that?
A little bit.
Oh, I can't like recreate it now.
All right.
It was like, whoa.
So I'm going to start with the girls that we need to weigh that we know we're not going to need to ultrasound because we haven't even set up the ultrasound yet. And we've been at this for a while. What time is it?
It is 6:20. We've been at it for an hour and 38 minutes.
Let's weigh everybody and then do ultrasounds like next week.
Okay. That's a good idea. I still got some work to do for Mr. Jimmy Snow.
We can potentially do some pairings just based on the previous stuff. Yeah, because the ultrasound's not set up. And maybe it'd be good to set the camera up a little differently for that. So we're just going to go through all the girls. I'm going to start with Alpine, then Coily, Lila, Varda, Tubby, and Honeycomb.
Alpine, Coily, whatever's beneath her.
Alpine, Coily, Lila, Varda, Tubby, Honeycomb.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Alpine is an albino pinstripe. Similar to our lavender albino pinstripe, this is just a regular albino pinstripe. We haven't produced any of these yet. She looks really, really good. I hope you can see both tones on there.
Yeah, you can see them both.
All right. I'm going to say she's I'm going to say she's like 1,800 grams. 1676.
1676.
And she feels pretty thick. So,
I mean, if we have to, we might do ultrasounds not on stream like tomorrow or something, because...
when we get back with the other snakes.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Lila is... oh, I said coily next, didn't I?
Yes.
This is a gorgeous snake. This is another one that we got from Tom Harbin. She is a Calico Orange Dream Yellow Belly Fire. One of the prettiest snakes we've got. I love Calico and Orange Dream, as does Arden the first time we saw it.
A little closer. Oh, never. There we go.
First time we saw it and what Calico and Orange Dream can do together, we're like, we got to get some of that in our projects.
Yep. It's another one of those things where the genes aren't that expensive together, and so you're not producing like a particularly high value snake in terms of, you know, a business strategy, making money. Yeah, she's coming through now. You can see those white specks from the Calico going so far up those alien heads.
They've almost filled out part of the alien heads on her. She's great.
But I just love how they look, and so I want us to make them. I think they're beautiful, and I think everyone thinks they're beautiful, and
1547.
it's nice to have some really beautiful snakes that are affordable for people, and so you're not just making like the designer snakes that nobody can access, you know?
Yeah, if when we hatch out these eggs that are down in the incubator right now, the Orange Dream or the Orange Dream Dreamsicles or the Inceptions, those are potentially $1,000 snakes right off the bat. It might be a little bit less now. Prices have come down a little bit, but something like an Orange Dream Calico Yellow Belly Fire is maybe a $300 snake.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't looked at pricing them just yet, but you can have others. This is Lila. She's just an albino. And so you'll get to see, it's actually her babies that we just showed you at the end of our babies. She shed pretty bad. And she's a little thin right now because after giving birth, she's only barely started eating. But you can see how she's kind of just a pale yellow.
Yeah.
That's adult albino.
I think that's a really good indicator. We'd been looking at Aurora Z to compare, but we hadn't looked at Lila as much. And
1580.
1580. And if she's a paler yellow, then it probably is true that the paler yellow babies are also the not yellow belly.
I pulled the whole tub out and probably shouldn't have because she's running.
Yeah. Do you need a hand?
Now she's going to get to the end of the rope right here and not be able to go any further without falling over. All right. Let me mark her for a soak.
Okay.
Any new questions or do we lose everybody?
No, well, I mean, there's no questions, but some people, Gigi was saying, looks like a classical snake. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but the white ones with the different head, with the different color heads are impressive.
I think Varda's getting ready to potentially give us some eggs.
She's looking very thick-bodied in that lower end, yeah, for sure.
So Varda is just a yellow belly, and we paired her with Charlie, who is the Inchy Orange Dream Yellow Belly.
Specifically to prove out his yellow belly trait, which we think we already have, but this will be slightly more conclusive. Because if he is, then they will be able to produce an all-white snake called an ivory.
21.
21.
I'm not going to get any more on that. You can see the blushing in between the alien heads on her.
Oh, yeah.
On
it's
every
a little
single
high,
one.
but yeah, there you go. Now you can really see those.
All right. I think she was 2110, but 21's close enough.
Gigi said she's trying to escape. Don't lose another one in the rack. Yeah, like we lost. It was
I don't remember who it was.
Chandra last time we lost in the rack.
All right, this is Tubby. Come here, you. She gave us some eggs. Our neighbors are having a party. I can hear their music.
Maybe that's what I heard earlier.
She is a normal visually. She is het pied, which we proved out because she gave us some pieds. We paired her with Huey, so we got leopard pieds out of there. She is a normal het pied, het caramel albino, and we don't have any caramel albino males to put her with, and we're not going to be breeding those. There's a couple problems potentially with caramels, so people have kind of stopped breeding them.
Probably no reason to ultrasound her even when we eventually do either, because I think she's still. It was pretty recently that she. Wait, did you weigh her?
No, I didn't. I just looked at her.
I was like, wait, did I miss it?
1645.
1645.
She also only eats mice, and
Yeah.
so she hasn't been putting weight back on the way we'd like her to.
All right.
This is Honeycomb, a snake that we got for free in a raffle at an event, and I love it because this is one I'd always wanted. This is a champagne inchy that is possibly het pied and has, I would say, inklings of a bit of a ring there. But yeah, this is what the champagne coloring does, and with inchy to kind of change up the pattern. She's breeding weight, or was, so I'm going to say she's 1600. No, she's 1330.
1330.
So she's not up to the 1500 breeding weight, although some people started breeding at 12. A lot of it has to do with age too, but I'd prefer her to get 15.
Yeah, it's really the concern is a risk of getting egg bound, meaning they're not able to fully push the egg out when they're laying, and so the egg kind of becomes infected and treated like a foreign object in the body, and it eventually kills the snake.
The next 5 are Alicia, Allison, Yavanna, Ovaltine,
Yes.
and Mocha. First things first, Alicia Keys. She's our albino black pastel girl, and holy moly, I found there's like 5 fruit flies in there. So I'm going to do a spot cleaning on her tub in a minute, but she is albino black pastel. She should be close to breeding size. No, she's at 1,000, so she won't be ready to breed till next year. But an albino black pastel, I don't know if it's showing up on camera.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How it opens up the alien heads in there.
Actually looks slightly better on camera.
Can you hold her for a minute?
Yep.
I'm going to do a spot clean on her tub.
Love.
By the way, when it comes to cleaning, paper towels are our king, but we use chlorhexidine, which is an animal-safe cleaning product, and I just make up a huge sprayer of it.
You said she was 1,000 even, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, there's something. Where'd our trash can go? Right there. I think it was a bit of poop that attracted some fruit flies.
It's the fun of caring for snakes is that you think you're up here to do one thing and then you find poop and then that one doesn't have water and then before you know it, you've been up here for 20 minutes.
Or 3 hours.
Or 3 hours.
All right, she'll be much happier in here. It's one of the things you got to go through and spot clean whenever you can. And
we do a total overhaul every couple of months too, just to keep things as good as possible. Also, she's got some scarring. I'm wondering if her previous owner fed her live more often. Kind of like right there and stuff.
let's take a look. I think when I bought her, I was told that Yeah, other than that, she looks really good. She's got to get a little more weight on her. And now that I've got the that little bit of poop out of there, she won't have to worry about fruit flies in the back.
Oh, Gigi tried to explain the classical snake. She said, or they said, sorry, I don't know your pronouns. Black on brown or dark green seem to be the most common. Is it? Yeah. So, a brown with slightly green undertones on black is what we would call the wild type. That is what just a normal ball python would look like in the wild. The Enchi gene is actually from the Enchi region, and that's what it was named after, and it's slightly more common there. So it was found pretty frequently in the wild.
This is Allie.
Yep.
1430.
1430.
Allie's an albino Enchi, and so you can see what Enchi does to the albino pattern. Same as it does, I mean, across the board in pattern, but it ends up making the snake slightly more orange and more pattern. So it kind of causes the banding to go over the sides and everything else. She's already a proven breeder, so it's not that we have to wait for her to get up to weight. It's just that we recently got her. We're going to get her eating so that she puts on the weight, and we'll get an ultrasound of her when we ultrasound everybody else. Today, but this is taking longer than I thought. And probably after the next 3, I'll swap with you again.
Okay. We are well organized. Well, that's very kind of you to say.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it ever. We're actually always complaining that there's never enough room and that there's, we're not doing enough in this and that. So we appreciate the thought.
Okay, this is Yavanna. She's an Orange Dream Enchi, and she's going to need a soak. She's 1520, and I want to show her really well because in a minute I'm going to grab another snake that looks just like her, only has 2 copies of the Orange Dream. So she's got some stuck shed. We're going to give her a soak. But yeah, so Enchi does pattern morph stuff that does more saddling across the dorsal. And then Orange Dream, and Enchi will do this speckling and yelling, but Orange Dream kind of makes it oranger as well. So you see her, she's an Enchi Orange Dream. You got her weight?
Yep.
Okay. And then real quickly, I'm going to grab another snake, even though I'm going to do them in this order. This is Chandra, who is a super Orange Dream Enchi. So she has 2 copies of the Orange Dream. And she looks, she's having a little bit of a shed too, but yeah, I think we just need to soak a couple and mist everybody.
Yeah, I think everyone could do with some extra soaking. Their substrate needs a little bit more water.
Yeah. I'll just weigh her while I got her out.
I think we replaced everyone's enclosures completely, it was like a month or 2 ago.
Yep. So, it was a month, just less than a month ago.
Just less than a month ago.
She's 1013.
1013. Oh my God.
Holy moly, she's getting big.
I'm not really worried about her hitting the wall. She likes to eat. She's the only one who's bit me because she likes to eat.
Okay, this is Ovaltine. She is GHI Mojave Fire. GHI does some really cool pattern squirreliness. Mojave is where you get this sort of brown, yellow
kind of like the
coloration.
Ombre, from the lighter on the bottom to the darker on the top, in between the alien heads. That's what.
And then fire will lighten all of it up, makes this area just a little wider, this area just a little brighter.
While you're at it, maybe you should just grab Nesquik and do the comparison. We've done that plenty of times before on past streams, I guess.
Yeah, then go watch another video. 1290. So she is almost back up.
I noticed how you're leaving me with Gaga and Cindy for these weights.
Well, it wasn't the plan. This is just when my back gave out. Hey, Mocha. Mocha is a Mojave Calico het pied. She's proven out. So you can see the Mojave coloration there. That's also part of the Blue-Eyed Lucy complex. This will be one of our bell breeders. So we'll end up with calico bells that are het or possible het pied. Her pattern's really cool. There's this dragging that takes place, everything else. I'm going to say she's probably 1320, but 1340. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
1340 from Mocha. And now we can switch. Judy says, maybe you are a perfectionist, and that is good. Can always improve. The organization, numbers, spreadsheets, tags, expertise, and care are showing. Thank you so much. I mean, luckily, you know, it's not like we have to, we considered coming up with our own program of spreadsheets and organizing ourselves. But then we found Husbandry Pro, which does pretty much everything that we were planning on already made. And, you know, why reinvent the wheel?
I need my iced tea.
Okay.
And I think I want a muscle relaxer, but we'll have to finish.
So you guys got to see a bunch of baby lavender albino pinstripes. This is what pinstripe looks like. Just on a normal, I think she's leopard pinstripe. She's also having a bad shed. Yep, everyone needs to have some substrate soaked. So you can kind of see what the pinstripe does. It's that same, just, you know, very thin lines in between. But this girl's also gorgeous and very sweet. She has kind of stopped eating as much as I would like her to lately.
We also need to mark her for a soak.
Yes, we'll do.
She looks kind of thick, though, so I'm saying 14?
1802.
Wow.
She might be developing follicles pretty far. I'm not sure.
It might explain why she's not eating.
It could, yeah, that's true.
We just could have misread the...
So I'll do Miranda, Belle, and Janis Joplin, and then I'll do the middle two.
Okay. Miranda. Belle.
This was our girl who produced the super awesome, expensive snake baby that we made, who came to us already gravid and laid eggs in quarantine. Gonna try to power through these last few so we can wrap up 1,300 even. She's looking all right. Oh, I got a mark pinch me as well for a soak. These are wet erase markers, so they come off with any wet towel, which is really nice. You get to write on these directly on these tubs. Now, Belle, she's relatively new to us. She had a bad shed coming to us. It's not that bad. There's just a few little pieces. She is a Calico Huffman Mojave Het Hypo. So she will be
pastel.
Also a Belle breeder.
Also pastel.
Oh, pastel as well? I don't see that on... Oh, yeah, it is.
Calico
Sorry.
Huffman Mojave Pastel Het Hypo.
You're right. I just couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's fine.
1161.
Okay.
Just noticed a spot I wanted to check out. Looks fine.
That's the other thing is that, you know, you spend time, you want to make sure you investigate. If you have some that only eat live, you make sure that you're looking for any damage and any of that stuff. This is our new girl that we're really excited about.
She's so beautiful. She's huge, too. She might need to go in the big rack. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, so this is our acid pastel. So acid, basically...
It could be confused for leopard.
Yeah, I can see that. It just kind of makes the pattern wonky. That's the best way I can think to describe it.
Like it's an acid, like you're dripping on acid?
Yeah, like you're tripping on acid. You kind of have like these parts of the alien heads that are normally anchored at the lower half of the body are just kind of floating and goopy looking, almost like they're in like a lava lamp or something.
Exactly.
It's really, really cool. I'm a big fan of Acid. Acid is a very high value gene. She is 1932. Yeah, she might be ready for the big rack.
Yeah, the big rack's for 2000, but I'd put her in there. 1932.
Yep. I
Okay.
also want to ultrasound her because she's very thick bodied. It's not just weight. So,
All right, so 1932 for Janis Joplin. I would put a mark on hers. I'd put an M or just put big rack or whatever.
big rack.
Which makes it sound like she's well endowed.
That's why I said it that way. All right, so I'm using a hook to open the next one. Some of you guys who have watched these streams before will know why. Not because Gaga's aggressive at all, but because she has an insane feeding response and often just comes billowing out here at lightning speed. Hi, baby. She's real chill today. Okay, cool. Like I said, she's not an aggressive snake at all. She's a total sweetheart, but just an insane feeding response. She is a spider and probably something else, but we don't know what yet. I know it's frowned upon to breed spiders.
Although that's changing because people assumed because they have this head wobble thing that it's a neurological disorder. But a new study shows that with the spider gene, there's a genetic abnormality in the inner ear, which would account for the wobble without a neurological issue. And considering that they're normal and good eaters in every other way, and plenty of spider breeding's been done. What's her weight?
1374. Yeah, I mean, the question is really, I think I understand why breeders want to keep like healthy animals propagating. But with spiders, the only unhealthy aspect about them is that their inner ear causes them to wobble. There's no real reason to believe that they're distressed or like uncomfortable because of it. And if they're eating well and pooping, why, because they just move a little differently, would we frown upon breeding them? So we're going to breed her just to see what else is potentially in her mix. Yeah, and see how she's doing. And last over here on this rack, before we move over to the other one,
Is Margarine. And that's her whole name.
is Marjorie Taylor Green.
That's not true.
Her name is Margarine, but so we started calling her Marge, and then I thought Marjorie Taylor Green. And we also have a snake called Bobert, so it works. All right, we're gonna weigh her. She is 1688.
Nice. Gigi says, end snake discrimination. Yes.
Yeah, it really is kind of like it feels similar to like a disability eugenics kind of conversation where it's like, should those people not be allowed to breed because they move differently? Like, I think if they can live a nice life and be happy and contribute to society, there's literally no reason to stop them. All right, let's get Cindy over with. Her head's buried, so I'm going to just go right in. Cindy is not a big fan of handling, which is absolutely okay. 1757.
Cool.
So I'm not going to waste time showing her off. I'm going to get her right back in where she's comfortable.
She is a beautiful snake, but there's not a lot of pattern there to see.
Yeah.
She is a Super Cinnamon Mojave Hidden Gene Woma. And I can't wait till she gives us some babies so we can prove that stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the camera a bit so that we can maybe see you a little better.
So this is Bobert. She is a clown.
Just like Lauren.
Just like Lauren. This one has a little bit more decency, but she's very pretty. Great color. You can see Clown already kind of has a little bit of that buttery color, but when we showed you Ronald, it was definitely much more so. But yep, let's get a good weight on her. Nope, I need you over here so I can get an accurate measurement, my lady. She's putting up a fight. 2,036. She might need the big rack more than
Put a note on her for Big Rack. I think she's just building eggs.
Yeah.
And
We already knew she
clowns.
was pretty far along on developing follicles. That's almost certainly what's going on. But
Actually, her last follicles were only 12.
oh, okay. I thought she was more like 30.
Yeah, I did too, but evidently not. So, and yeah, so Bobert is just clown, no other genes, but she's a proven breeder.
Big rack. And she also needs some water. All right. Let's hit T-Swizzle, who
Taylor
is
Swift.
also a little spicy. Not a big fan of handling or interacting, but hopefully we can make this quick and seamless for her. She is a yellow belly, het dreamsicle, possible het desert ghost girl. 1492. Not going to spend too much time showing her off because she's also not a big fan of handling. But she's very pretty. And a decent eater.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine snake, but
So
just... Yeah.
All right. Who are your next ones?
Blossom, Clarabelle, and then Ellie Goulding. All right, so this is Blossom. She's always had a hard time shedding. Every shed she's ever done, it's been not great. So I don't think that's really on us. She is a banana black pastel mahogany. So black pastel and mahogany are both very much darkening genes. And when you mix them with banana, you get a very patternless looking snake. And something that I think is really cool about her in particular is if you notice her freckles are only on her dorsal. They don't come down on her body almost at all, but they're so concentrated on her dorsal. She is a great eater, a very sweet snake. She is one of my favorites in our collection for sure. She's just a sweet girl and a good breeder.
You'll notice that most of our breeder females are named after singing divas. So we've got, you can tell me the weight whenever.
Trying to grab on the handle of that water container. She is 1164.
So she still hasn't put on all her weight after giving us eggs.
Yeah, she is actually the first breeder to lay eggs this year. And is just not put it back on.
Caught us a little bit by surprise, but you've got Alicia Keys, you have Janis Joplin, Taylor Swift, Ellie Goulding, Demi Lovato, Annie Lennox. We have lots of our big breeder girls are named after singing divas. Is this Clarabelle?
This is Clarabelle.
Beautiful pastel clown. So she's going to look like Lauren, only yellower.
Yep, a little bit yellower.
Along the edges there.
It's really, really pretty. I'm such a fan. Gorgeous.
Pastel also does some pattern morph. So what you get is instead of the big alien heads with big eyes that you've got on Lauren, you get almost some stringing.
1850.
Nice. 1850.
Oh. Clarabelle might be the one that was more developed in follicles. I thought one of the clown girls was pretty far.
I will look her up. Clarabelle's 25 millimeters. Matter of fact, put Bozo in with her now.
Okay. Pull out Ellie Goulding real quick. Bozo is so deep in shed. I'm sorry, buddy. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Ooh, you kind of looked like you were going to snap at me for a second.
All right. Ellie is a pastel lavender albino that's het for piebaldism, which means Demi, who you'll see soon, is an orange dream piebald that's het lav. And Ellie is a pastel lavender that's het pied. And so we should get pastel dreamsicles as well.
Yeah, it's also a good chance to show you guys another example of what an adult lavender
Wow, she looks
like.
filthy.
Huh?
She looks filthy, like she's got poop on her.
Oh yeah, she just has some dirt on her. I mean, this is the problem when you have lighter colored snakes. all snakes are going to get dirt on them like this, living in an enclosure, and when they're lighter, it just becomes more obvious. It happens.
Gigi said if you name one Yoko Ono, she will mess things up.
Nice. Okay, nope, we're not going to climb right now.
She's like 1675.
She wants to move. All right. 1668. Wow, babe, that's close.
I'm pretty good sometimes. I even put it in as 1668. That's how confident I was, or as 1675. All right, we got her weight correctly now. That's Ellie. Good job.
Let me get this little shed skin of yours too.
Now Annie is normal looking, but she's a het lavender, het pied, and I can tell you that the last time we weighed her, she weighed 2196, but she gave us 4 eggs plus 1 slug just 2 days ago.
Before we hit Annie, we have Snickerdoodle.
Oh.
I'm sorry, trying to go in order of the columns.
That's fine.
This is Snickerdoodle, who is a what calico? Cinnamon calico.
Yeah.
Which is gorgeous together. What a cool combo. Really reduces the pattern. You get this like almost ringer halfway up the body. Lots of white, totally individually white scales. She's a gorgeous snake. And we're hoping to make some that look quite a lot like her.
I think she's going to be 1280.
Oh. Sorry, I know. You're new here and you're like, why are you touching me like this? 1075.
Okay. It's an important year.
This is also helpful because it tells us who might need slightly more attention food-wise. We don't feed every snake every week because adults, it's actually really not good to do that.
When they're rebuilding weight and when they're putting weight back on and rebuilding follicles, we'll feed them weekly if they'll take. Normally it's more like 10 days to 2 weeks or so. So this is Annie, and her last weighing, she was 2196. She gave us 4 eggs plus 1 slug just 2 days ago. And I'm going to average that out to be 300 grams. And so I'm going to say that she is going to be let's see. I'm going to say 1895.
Yep, you can kind of see her body's a little bit hollow on the inside, and that's because there used to be eggs there, and now there are not. 1475.
What?
Yeah.
No, that can't be right.
This has been working. I'll pull her out and hit tear.
Well, as long as it goes to 0, you're fine.
It goes to 0. 14.
That's wild. Oh, she did give us big eggs, though.
Yeah, they were bigger eggs than normal eggs.
Okay, that's a lot of weight drop there. So we definitely want to get her eating, and we might even give her next year off if she doesn't
recover in time. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
So this is Demi Lovato, the last girl of the day. She also just laid. She is an orange dream pied. Her babies could be what they call an inception pied, which is when you have that dreamsicle orange dream. She's beautiful. I think it was 6 eggs, but they were all kind of weirdly small and oddly shaped. So hopefully they make it. I've seen eggs that were kind of moldy make it before, so I'm not too worried about that. But
I think she's going to be right at 1,400 grams.
1202.
1202. Wow. All right, she's got quite a bit of weight to put back on, but she did just give us 7 eggs, which is amazing. All right.
Okay. That is everyone weighed.
No.
No?
You have an entire rack behind you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oops. the big snake rack, for whom I think this little tub is not going to be sufficient.
Yeah.
I think this white one that's not quite as deep. Might be a little bit better, or it's a little wider. Okay. All right. So first we have Shadow, who's kind of been not doing as great as I'd hope lately. She hasn't been eating as much, but she could be developing follicles. It's really hard to say.
She looks a little caved in, so I don't think she's giving us eggs right away.
Nope. She is 2254.
Okay.
She also smells bad. Like we might have a mess to clean up in her enclosure.
Okay, mark that on there.
Oh yeah, yep. There's a little mess back there. We'll get that after we finish weighings here.
All right, put a note there. Who are the next three?
Pebbles, Brittany Bitch, and Ariana Grande. Gonna wet my hands because they feel icky and they smell icky, and I'm like, girl, what are you sitting in? Clean.
She just got a clean tub not too long ago, so like 3 weeks.
Yeah, she's been making a lot of messes lately, which is interesting.
Okay, so you've got Pebbles, Brittany, Ariana, then who?
Then Nesquik.
Okay.
All right, come here. So this big girl laid us 12 healthy, great eggs of some of the most beautiful snakes we hatched this year. She is a real sweetheart, a good eater. She's also got this pattern on her eye that also always makes it look like she's kind of looking back at you. It's really cute. I love her. All right.
Her last weight was 2230, and I bet she's really close to that.
Can you... 2462.
Nice.
We've been very intentionally not overfeeding too, like especially with these the really big girls. We're really trying to only feed like once a month or once every 3 weeks or so.
Brittany was 2520.
Yep. So Brittany is visually a normal het for dreamsicle, but she's really pretty. She's got these cool like little like spermazoid fucking thing looking on her back. Really pretty pattern for normal. Oh, I accidentally hit the tear button while sliding it around.
Good thing is Brittany doesn't move around much.
$24.40. Oh, big girl. Go on. All right. Now we have Ariana Grande, who can sometimes be a little spicy to grab because she
loves to eat.
Yeah, she always thinks it's food time. So you can really see the influence from those Mojave Calico babies back at the beginning of the stream. Look at her. And then you see them. They're very clearly the same snake and come from the same mom. So she is gorgeous.
Not the Mojave, the pewter pieds that we have.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
So she was 2258 last time. I'm going to say 2315.
Nope. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's a 0. No! Stop it! Oh my god, you've changed the units! Oh, and she's gonna knock this over. Okay, hold on. This needs to go somewhere over here. I don't know. Out of the way. She keeps rapping on the handle, trying to...
You've got a whole nother shelf you can pull out next to that, but what did I say she was going to be? I think she said 23.15.
That was your prediction, something like that. $23.07.
I was within 8 grams.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
All right.
High size says, "Bzz, what makes a clown? She has a hat." Well, a clown is a recessive gene. You need 2 copies of it to produce a clown, but that's just the name of that particular visual morph.
So if you scrolled back on the timeline of this stream and check out that GHI Mojave Fire, you can really see the difference in what fire can bring to a gene. It's not always super visually impactful, but in this case it really is, because this is that same snake without the fire gene. And instead, she's got a smooth, chocolatey brown instead of those like yellow textures.
I think she reabsorbed, and she's going to be sitting at 1,700 and some change.
1652. But she definitely reabsorbed, which is the thing that happens. It's just part of the game. Not all your snakes are going to want to lay every single year.
Okay, so the next ones are Newest, and then Starlight, and then Laverne.
Yes. Ooh. Newest can be a little spicy. She's got a bad shed. She is just pastel het lav albino. Yep, she definitely needs some help shedding as well. She also really only eats mice.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1990.
1956. It's about when you were born, right? Something like that?
Wow. That's some fucking shade there. You just made me 13 years older. Remember, you're the one that picked me.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Starlight.
Right. Starlight, also like Gaga, will just come just darting out at you because she wants food all the time. So just a little hook to help deprogram her brain, let her know it's not food time. This is just handling time, and it's okay. She is just a super pastel, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So that's what 2 copies of pastel does. You can see in particular how it pales out the yellow coloration, but also on the top of the head, it gets really close to white when you get super pastel. She's got a little bit of a butterfly on her head, which almost makes me think there's some Orange Dream in there, but she gave us babies. Some great babies.
She is 1658.
1658.
You're knocking over my weight container, girl.
Yeah, what we can do is we can do a run through of snakes and weights, and any in the big rack that are well under 2,000 like she is can move, and any that need to move over that are over 2,000 can do that.
Good idea.
Basically, that rack that she's grabbing from is a sea serpents with 70 quart tubs.
So
there we go.
This is the actual last girl. This is the mom to all those lavender albinos we saw at the beginning. She is in shed right now as well.
Pull out a lavender pen out of the bottom.
She just barely got back to eating. So you can really see how much the lavender albinos, any albino, fades out over time. This is so bright orange, and it's going to end up... Now, this isn't also a great representation because she's in shed. It's a lot more... It's like putting a gray filter over any image is what going into shed does to their color. But still, you can tell that it's very much grayed out, yellowed out rather. Hi, let's get you weighed. But yeah, she's finally started eating again, thankfully, after laying her eggs.
I'm going to say 2460.
She is a big girl by nature, for sure. 25, 55.
Nice. That means she's starting to put weight back on, which is a good thing.
Yes, she did just have a big meal. I think it was last week, so she probably won't need to eat again for another couple weeks.
Gigi says they all have similar densities. I don't know what you mean.
Do you mean like, yes, I think, well, here, let me see if I can pull out Nahas.
Oh, we should also weigh Nahas.
Sure. If you were to compare the weight and body structure of a corn snake compared to, where are you at? Where are you at? Here we go. Hi. Of a corn snake when compared to a ball python, you would very clearly see that corn snakes are pretty uniform. Their body weight across their whole body is pretty consistent. Ball pythons are very thick in their middle body and slender towards their neck and head, and that might be what you mean. They'll have a similar like density, consistency to their body. Or if I totally missed it and that's not what you meant, that's okay too.
I never entered Nahas in the system.
Okay, well, good opportunity. Unless you don't want to do it right now.
Go ahead and at least get a weight, and we'll actually weigh the two that are in the quarantine room. Oh, actually, no, we wouldn't. That was
Yeah, no, that would be silly.
break quarantine.
Let go of my fingers.
Hydration, muscle, and fat. Does it affect a lot like humans?
He is 23 grams. He's tiny. He's still a little hatchling.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother adding him right now. So Gigi's asking about similar densities, hydration, muscle, and fat. I would assume they have similar densities as they are the exact same species, and generally per species, the density is pretty much the same. The corn snakes are a different species, which, by the way, you should take a peek at those two while I'm talking.
I saw this one earlier today moving around.
I saw it moving too. But if you're able to pull it out and show the itty bitty baby.
One of these?
Yeah.
All right, well. So.
This is an itty bitty baby corn snake that we've had difficulty getting to eat. It's eaten one meal.
Wow. It is paper thin, this guy.
We're going to, so those two
good.
go on the list of things that we have to assist feed this week.
So, yeah, like the one we showed you at the very beginning that was extremely skinny. I mean, and you don't want your snakes to get that way. We're not trying to say that that is an acceptable weight for a snake. But the problem is,
these were born, watch. The
problem is that there's not much you can do for a snake who's not going to eat. You can try to assist feed, which is basically forcing a meal down their throat. But that can often hurt the snake, damage them, and there's a chance they'll regurgitate anyway, which will make it worse, which is, again, just why we were saying, like, you know, there's a reason that snakes have a lot of eggs at once. It's because their young aren't inclined to survive at the same rate that, like, humans are.
But it doesn't look that bad, apart from being a little thin. We've got some reptilinks coming, including some of the smallest ones. And we can also potentially assist feed rat tails. We also have, in the other room, there's 2 snakes in quarantine right now. One of them is Barbecue, who is
special.
Our special.
She's got that special sauce.
Het albino female, but we're not breeding her for the albino. We're just doing special because that's part of Blue-Eyed Lucy. And then there's also a scaleless corn snake in there that may be microscaleless. And tomorrow, we're picking up a scaleless Texas rat snake, but we are also picking up 2 snakes that we are incredibly excited about. And don't tell them.
Okay.
We'll do a welcome home video with the new snakes to show them off.
Okay.
But they are a species that we do not currently have. They are a breeding pair, which means not only will we have them, but we'll be able to start breeding them. Some of you might have heard me talk about them already elsewhere. But, oh, you know what we didn't weigh? All the colubrids.
Maybe we could do that another day, because we've been at it for a while and I still have other work to do.
Okay. Well, down there in the colubrids, down off to Arden's left, we have 3 hognose snakes. Speedy, who's right up there on the front of the enclosure, who's the sweetest of all of them. She's an albino superconda hognose, western hognose. Above her is Arsenal, who is a red phase western hognose. Just off to the side of Speedy is Lilith, who is I can't see.
Lilith is an Arctic het lavender.
Arctic het lav, western albino, western hognose. Then there are 2 black African house snakes. One of which is Sabrina, the girl, and the boy is Kruger. They're both black, or Kruger's a brown African house snake.
Tried to get y'all a shot of her earlier. She is so pretty, and I know, again, albinos don't love having bright light in their eyes, but for a second you can see her. Her keeled scales are so pretty. She's such a good eater. But, you know, I mean, hognoses are known for being generally good eaters and for being ridiculous in the way that they eat. She is no exception to that rule. Loves to grab her meal completely sideways and have a whole performance first.
Grab Bonnie real quick. We'll show you a T-negative albino African house snake. We have a breeding pair that I think we're going to start pairing up in February. Maybe a little before then.
Don't have any food for you. We're good. Yeah, all right.
This snake is interesting in that when you're holding it, it constantly tries to move backwards.
Yeah.
And it got injured.
We don't know exactly from what. I don't think we fed it anything live, but we maybe did.
But anyway, the wound is completely healed. She's incredibly resilient.
Ah, there it is.
Incredibly healthy.
You can kind of see the scar there. Yeah. It took some neosporin, some time on a sanitary environment, but she recovered quite well, and I think she's looking good. House snakes are, I think, much like corn snakes, a really good beginner option. I could see them frightening some people because they kind of have this jittery way of moving. But that you also might get tagged just from a feeding response. They have very strong feeding responses, unlike corn snakes. Well, unlike our baby corn snakes. Are you in my shirt?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's most exploring she's done because she tends to go backwards.
But she's very cool. They're great animals. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. Very, like, curious and explorative. That's a word now. Very easy to handle, generally speaking. This girl's a little more squirmy, but it's because she doesn't have as much experience being handled. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the house snakes.
So we're going to wrap up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We need more subscribers, and then we'll start doing content even more regularly. But in addition to all of these snakes and the colubrids that you haven't seen yet, there's additional corn snakes downstairs. There's going to be 3 new snakes arriving tomorrow. But in addition to all of that, we have a selection of crested geckos in the other room that we will happily be showing off, including some of our brand new baby lily whites. And you want to check that tub because it's technically within a couple of days of when one of them could hatch.
It's this one, or no?
Maybe the one under it. I don't know how
under it, yeah. 11/18. So there's only 1 egg. The other one has gone bad. I'm not convinced this one looks good either for being a week out from hatching. Normally, it would be a lot more swollen. So it's weird. Ball python eggs don't really change shape or size over their development. But crested gecko eggs will start out like that, very slender and long. And as they get closer to hatching, they will swell up and become round and like almost spherical right before they hatch. So this one might not make it. That's the thing that happens. It's not much you can do about it. Like these ones have definitely gone bad. These ones were due for December 18th or December 8th. But as you can see, they're quite clearly...
We lost a pair.
Quite clearly yellowish brown. Those eggs aren't going to make it, unfortunately. The perlite doesn't feel super hydrated, so it could have just been I didn't hydrate it enough to begin with. Not sure exactly what, because we've hatched plenty of them out on slightly dry Stuff, it's hard to say. You never can completely know. Actually, these eggs look great. These are due in December, and I think are a great example of how you can notice they're no longer quite oblong. They're starting to expand outward, especially the two that are together nestled on the top.
Hold them a little lower and I'll...
Yeah, so these eggs I think are going to be easily hatching right around their due date in December. They're looking good. These ones unfortunately have to go. But we're new to crested geckos. We've hatched now like 8 babies, I think. And they're doing okay. I mean, all of them are fine so far, but it is definitely different. Small geckos have a lot of energy and are very fragile. And opening their enclosure to like feed them or miss them is always a very nerve-wracking experience. So
HiveSci wants to know if you can check them with light. And the answer is technically yes, but we're mostly just leaving them alone.
yeah, you can candle them. It's a good way to know early on whether or not they're fertile. If they're infertile, there generally will be like a kind of thick yellow color when you put a light under them. And if they are fertile, they'll generally have like more of a reddish hue and like maybe even a dot on one of the sides. So yeah, you can candle them like that to check if they're viable. I have for some of them, but not all of them. All right, well, I guess we're gonna try to wrap up here. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and weighing all our snakes and checking out what our like chore responsibility process is like. We're gonna try to come back at you guys with a ultrasound stream hopefully soon, later this week or next weekend. But that is it for today.